Chapter 35. Early morning. World-famous Clown Motel and Cemetery. River Rock Mine, Nevada. Griffin pulls into the Clown Motel parking lot. He sees only a single clown car. His quarry is gone, but he also notices the door to the last room is left open. He parks the car, and he and his passenger exit. "I'll go first," says Griffin. "Affirmative," says his passenger. Griffin grabs his coin tight and runs into the room. He quickly sees an empty room. He tries to close the door and it slowly reopens. He looks further in the room and he sees a disheveled bed. Then he sees a trash can full of bandages. Perfect. He then points at the trash can. "Get their scent, Hunter." His passenger, nicknamed Hunter, grabs the trash can and takes a sniff. His eyes quickly turn yellow like a wolf. Then they return to normal. "I got it. Let's go. They can't escape now." Chapter 36. Dust-covered sedan, paved road, Nevada. Brian sees a road sign flash by the car. "I think I know where we're going. We're going to Reno. It's the biggest city in northern Nevada." "That makes sense," says Kai. "Maria was out of the country, and she'll need to fly into the country somewhere. She probably didn't want to fly into Vegas, so she picked Reno." In a singing voice, Will says, "I shot a man in Reno." "What?" says Brian. "We don't need that heat." "Nah, that's a lyric in a song," says Will. "Oh," says Brian. "Just to watch him die." "Shut up," says Kai. "I hope we pass the world-famous Jackrabbit Ranch," says Will. "Hey, how's everything in Nevada world-famous? World-famous gambling? World-famous clown motels? World-famous whorehouses?" Chapter 37. Dust-covered sedan. Paved road heading towards Reno, Nevada. As the sun rises behind their car, the traffic around the sedan slowly increases as they get closer and closer to Reno. The two-lane road turns into a four-lane road. To avoid attention, Will moves into the far right lane, the slow lane. Several cars zip by their car. "Pass me one of those food kits, please," says Brian to Kai. "Okay. Have you had one before?" "Nah. How bad can they be?" The survival kit looks like a military MRE, meal ready to eat package. Brian opens the package's top and looks inside. He sees a freeze-dried bag of beef and rice with the text, "Just add hot water," printed on the front of the package. He pours out the rest of the contents, and he finds an off-brand candy bar, an off-brand drink mix, a packet of salt and pepper, and a super tiny hot sauce bottle. "Look at this little thing," says Brian. "How cute," says Kai. "Hey, save that for me. I'll need to use that in a size comparison picture." "Ew," says Kai. Brian also finds a packet of crackers with peanut butter. Kai opens the kit. Her packet reads, "Hot dogs and beans." Everything else in the package is exactly the same as Brian's kit. Brian says, "I don't have water, and it looks and feels like dry dog food. I guess I'll have the crackers and the candy bar." "Hand me that," says Will as he grabs a dried beef and rice packet. He rips it open with his teeth and shakes some dried beef and rice into his mouth. He coughs a little. "And needs a little water." After swallowing, he continues to pour more of the bag contents into his mouth. The car slowly starts to pass Will in the fast lane. Suddenly, Brian, Will, and Kai feel a flip in their stomachs. "Watch out! Shit!" The car next to them contains a man with bright yellow eyes, and he has a handgun pointing straight at Will's head. Will has one hand on his bag of food and the other hand on the steering wheel. His steering hand has his coin pressed between the wheel and his palm. If it wasn't there and able to be activated, he would have been shot in the head. The shooter pulls the trigger on his gun, and the bullet flies through the driver and passenger side windows. Luckily, Brian and Will are not hit by the bullet. However, their faces are peppered with safety glass. The car is filled with a roaring sound as the freeway speed winds enter the car. The shooter's car quickly shoots forward past their car. They hear a few more shots from the attacking car. "What the?" yells Will. Brian squeezes his coin, and he thinks, "Find my enemy's weakness." He gets the feeling, yells, "Smash their back right fender with our car, now!" Will hits the gas and swerves into the shooter's car. He hits the right rear fender, and just as in a police chase video, the shooter's car spins and loses control. Will drives past the spinning vehicle. The attacker's car cranes off the highway into the desert. It hits a dip in the desert, and it flips once onto its top. As they speed away, Kai looks back. She sees two men crawl out of the car. They look up, and she follows their sight line. She sees a small glinting dot in the sky. "They have a plane, and they're following us," yells Kai over the wind noise. Chapter 38. Highway to Reno, Nevada. After 20 minutes, Brian sees an exit sign for a truck stop ahead. "Let's go there and try to figure something out," yells Brian above the wind noise. "Are they still up there?" he yells at Kai. Yes! We need to lose them, responds Kai. Will takes the exit, and he enters one of the largest truck stops he has ever seen. There's a large parking lot for long semi-trucks of 1, 2, or even 3 trailers. He sees a large set of covered gas pumps with a line of semi-trucks filling up with gas. He also sees a normal-sized set of gas pumps for normal cars and vehicles. There's a large convenience store near the pumps with attached showers. There's also a 24-hour American-style diner. Next to the diner is a parking lot full of cars, trucks, and family RVs. I could probably steal us a car, says Kai, holding her coin up. I'll find us a ride, says Brian as he squeezes his coin. He points at an old, faded white van. That'll work. Don't park here. Park across the lot. We'll split up and make our way to the van. Will parks across the lot. Kai says, Wait, stay low, and try to keep the cars between you and the plane. Kai points at the plane. The plane is in that direction. Ready? Go! The trio leave the car and split up. They move hunched over from car to car. Will is the first to the car. He tries the van's driver's side door and it's locked. A moment later, Kai arrives and touches the door and squeezes her coin. The van door opens and Kai climbs in. She presses a button on the car door and all the doors unlock. As she touches the ignition key slot, the van's engine roars with life. At the same time, Will gets into the back seat behind Kai, and Brian arrives and climbs into the passenger seat. Kai starts to drive the van out of the parking space, and her door flaps open. It won't stay closed, says Kai. Will closes his hand on his coin and concentrates, and he looks around hopeful. Hey, a bungee cord! He grabs a cord from underneath his seat. Roll your window down a crack! Kai opens the window a little, and Will slides one hook of the strap into the window. Close it now! The window closes on the hook. Will pulls the cord and hooks the other end to the back and bottom of the driver's seat. Better than AAA, says Will. Kai exits the parking lot and re-enters the highway. As she drives away from the truck stop, Brian looks back and he sees a small plane circling the truck stop. Brian says, Once we get to Reno, we need to figure out how to go on an attack. We can't just keep defending random attacks. Eventually we're going to get killed. Yeah, this game doesn't favor any players sitting out on the sidelines. Chapter 39. Highway to Reno, Nevada. After another hour driving, they start to see more and more signs of civilization. More gas stations, more restaurants, more exits leading to small cities. Let's go to one of these gas stations and switch drivers, says Brian. After the stop, Brian is driving. Kai is back in the passenger seat, and Will is still in the back seat. After a few minutes, Brian rounds a corner and crests a hill. He sees the Reno metropolitan area. Huh, this city looks like a bowl of cereal. What? Asked Kai. It's completely surrounded by mountains. The mountains are like the outer part of a cereal bowl, and all the buildings are like the marshmallows. Does your coin make your brain rot? Asked Kai. Nope, that's all me, Brian interrupts. Once we find Maria, we need to figure out who's attacking us, and we need to figure out how to stop them. Otherwise, we're going to get killed. We need to figure out how to use our coin powers against their coin powers too. And my luck is getting pretty low, says Will. The 4-lane highway turns into an 8-lane freeway, and Brian continues to drive until he feels a strong sensation near a freeway exit. He takes the exit, and he follows stronger and stronger tugging sensations in his belly until he finds himself circling a city park. Maria is in this park, says Brian. He finds a street parking spot. Let's look around a little before we walk out there. What does she look like? She's Latina, and she's my age. She has light brown hair and brown eyes. She's very beautiful. She has it all. Youth, brains, street smarts, and beauty, says Kai. Sounds like my kind of woman, says Will. The building across the street is the hospital. I see a few moms with some kids by those swing sets. Does she have a kid? Will it have to be a stepdad? No, she doesn't have any kids, replies Kai. There's some picnic tables by those basketball courts. I see a bunch of people in hospital scrubs having lunch over there, but I don't think I see Maria. I don't see any sword-wielding maniacs either. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Let's go walk around, says Brian. I think I should stay at the car. You two go look. If there's trouble, I'll drive to the park and pick you up. Actually, that's not a bad plan. Brian can walk right up to her, but she knows me. She'll split if a stranger approaches her. Brian and Kai get out of the van on the passenger side of the van. Will climbs over the front seat and into the driver's seat. The seat is still warm from your butt. Brian feels the need to walk towards the picnic benches. As they approach, a few of the people eating lunch get up, throw their trash away, and walk away. However, Brian still feels a tug towards the woman with her back turned towards him. She has whitish brown hair, and she's dressed in dark blue hospital scrubs. She's facing a blonde-haired woman. The blonde-haired woman is laughing at some joke that was just said. Maria? Says Kai. The middle-aged woman turns around. She has a wrinkled, kind face, with smile lines around her brown eyes. Kai! You finally found me!